Okay, yes. The services that you think that you would take advantage of, institute those options and institute some kind of, I guess, some kind of program to help those students who don't have insurance, because there's a great majority of students who don't have insurance, and it's not because they can't afford it or it's not because they just don't have it. So I believe there should be something in place to help out those students, not just everybody else got insurance and since you don't got it, we're just gonna treat you like you out there. I believe there should be a different type of program set up because they are students.
I agree with you to an extent. Um, for me, I would prefer to have a like required insurance health plan where you can opt out if you already have insurance, that's fine, but all students are required to have a certain type of insurance so that we can help you at our health center or send you to the hospital and know that you'll be taken care of and not left in thousands of dollars of debt so that you can no longer stay at the institution.
Now, I will add that for graduate students, for me personally, they implement a mandatory health insurance. So
Yeah.
unless you have your own personal insurance,
And it's like that for international students as well.
you
if I'm not
have to
mistaken.
get this insurance, which is a good and a bad thing. You know, if I ever need it, I can
It's
use
there,
it.
but
And from what I gather, it's available to use, and I can access it to many different places that aren't on campus. But it definitely there's no charge to me on campus.
yeah, well, they need to institute that for, like you said.
So if you were president
those
of
in
the Love
between.
Below, would you implement something like that?
Yes, I would.
Because
Because
it is a
it's
charge
needed.
for it.
Yeah, I mean,
You have
there's
to pay
a
for it in your tuition.
nice little charge for it.
To, like, for them to have the.
Yeah.
The way that it's currently set up, like graduate assistants,
Mhm.
those that work on campus, have to have insurance, and international students, and there is the option for other students to get student insurance,
Yeah.
but there are some positions or types of students that are required
Mhm.
to have insurance that is provided from the school, and that way they know for a fact that you have insurance and you can be taken care of.
Well, then, yes, I do believe that. And I know I just contradicted myself by saying we don't need a health fee, but in that instance, then we would need one. If
Well, that's not the health fee that we pay. That's
there would
separate.
have to be something separate.
Yeah, the health fee that you pay is just so you can go into the health center and be seen. It doesn't
Yeah.
cover
Yeah.
the outside charges, like if you go in there and have
Blood work done.
blood work or x-rays done,
Okay, well
that's
then,
an additional
yes, I'm
charge.
for it. Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
I take it. Gio,
I don't use the health center.
so that fee wouldn't be used in your plan. You have it, folks.
I just go to the rack and exercise.
Now, as
Myself.
that's a good option because a lot of things that, as far as health is concerned, is preventative upon ourselves.
I definitely agree with that.
But
Exercise, people. Stop complaining.
what do you say to those students that aren't given the time restraint? Like they have to work, so they're in an organization for a particular reason, or
I just say it's called self-discipline. God gave us 24 hours in a day for a reason.
All right, so I have a question for you. Should you, God forbid, injure yourself in the rack or your exercise activity area and not have insurance, so you can't go to the hospital and not incur thousands of dollars in debt, how would you handle that situation for your students?
They would just have to suffer and we would wrap them in gauze.
And there you have it.
Don't hire me.
with
Please
your
don't hire me.
your healthcare plans, what type of clauses or incentives would you have for mental health?
Mm.
Mental health is, to me, slightly more important than physical health, because a lot of times your physical health can depend on your mental state. So I would definitely encourage, if not require, some sort of mental health checkup once a year, as often as you have a physical health checkup, because you need to deal with certain things. And if you're not coping with the stresses and whatnot well, then you need to be put in a place where you can learn some coping skills, put in a place where you can work on the things that are causing issues in other areas of your life.
Okay, Joe.
I guess my incentive in that plan would be that you are required to go to the counseling center and take advantage of those services a certain amount of time in one 1 year period to just like I guess you could say like get a checkup or something. But also a lot of times one visit is not going to be enough. So there will be like maybe a minimum of a 2 visit per semester type thing. That's required.
I would implement an elective class on mental health to give students education for things that they can do outside of therapists and mental health professionals are important, but an elective, because we have a physical, kinesiology class you have to take when you're here. You have to take a PE class here, and again your core classes or whatever. I would have an elective.
It would be an elective and not a required core class?
For me, I think it would be an elective. Because because the PE class is mandatory. You have to take a mandatory PE.
You have to take 2 and a health class.
Yeah, so my health classes would be constructed. Because I don't think they really talk a lot about mental health.
No.
And so I would have a mental health class that would be required. So like the physical kinesiology classes, but hopefully for extra credit on assignments as an incentive, visits to the psychologist clinic, the counseling clinic, to attend meetings and work on your mental health directly with the mental health professional. But then that breaches confidentiality and all that kind of stuff. But we would work those things out. But it would be a mandatory class that they would take. But that would be something I would do.
That's what I said. Avoid breaching confidentiality.
Well, because how would you assess who went? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
Just like you had to get a coin before when they had the lot in order to get out of the parking lot, there could be a form that your counselor signs to send back to the professor.
Yeah.
But then doesn't that lead to stigma? I have to bring this. Even if it is a mental health class, those who choose to do it versus those who choose not to do it.
If you submit it directly to the professor during their office hours, that way you don't have to come up in front of the class and be like, hey, I went to the counseling center last week, give me my extra credit.
Yeah. So that would be something I would do. Implement a class that students have to take. And it would also take away from maybe one of those electives that you don't want. It's a mandatory class, so of course you have to take that class, but it probably I would try to find some way to implement where you won't have to take another class that you don't want to take for this class. Because we also have that, I gotta take these electives so I can graduate. Well, it was a mandatory class, but it'll call for extra credit kind of thing. So those, you had those bio classes and you had a bio lab type deal. But that's me. Quick segue, because I know y'all guys have not answered my taxes yet, but should guns be allowed on campus?
No. Not by students, maybe not by students, but maybe by professionals that have it for a specific reason in case of a security breach or something like that, but no.
I would say only for public safety.
How would you define public safety?
The people that are employed by my public safety department.
So police officers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the word public safety can be anything. Can be, legal jargon. As we know, legal jargon can be manipulated to mean a certain number of definitions and connotations. So specified in your...
I would say the police officers that work on campus and the ones that ride through campus, because I can't make you drop your gun off when you enter campus. However, students, faculty, staff, family, and friends, I'm going to kindly ask that you respect the law that says you can't have guns on campus.
I did that. So we'll come back. we're gonna premiere where, oh, they just threw it out again. They just don't like, and I just put these songs in. We're gonna premiere Geo's. Hasn't been played anywhere else. We're gonna have a world premiere of Geo's song Role Model. You can find the actual lyrics in the miscellany. This false edition of the miscellany is on page 9. We pick it up in the Williams Center, pick it up in the library, the Wood, I said the Williams Center already, the Union bookstore. They have them in the bookstore sometimes, all across campus.
Or you can harass me personally.
And or definitely hit him up because he got thousands of copies. I'm gonna lie about it, but he has many copies, and that he will hook you up. So like I said, this is the world premiere, and this is the Love Below on 91.9 The Buzz.